restoration. Join us for our Worship Leaders Retreat, May 9th through 12th in 2011. That's the day right after Mother's Day. What if you had 4 days in the Texas Hill Country to escape the mundane circle of ministry and responsibility? This retreat is for worship leaders and those involved in music ministry. Special guests to lead us in our time will be Scotty Smith, music by Andy Park, Mark D. Roberts, and Branon Dempsey. Head back on over to the Worship Team Training site, find the events page, follow the registration links to join us for May 9th through 12th, 2011. Find your call for restoration here.
Hey worship teams, great to have you here on our From the Road series, Worship Team Training. We're here in Dayton, Ohio, a little town called Pequea, and we're at Grace Methodist Church and sitting here with Pastor Mike and also Worship Pastor Carol Palmer. And what I'd like to ask you guys for our viewers here is, Pastor, can you tell us what is the importance of the relationship between you as a senior pastor and your worship leader?
It's so important to have the worship leader and the pastor work together, because we're all trying to bring the same group of people into the presence of God every week. Now, I don't do it with an instrument or with singing, but I'll do it with a message.
Right.
But then Carol comes along and she and her team prepare these people, moving them into the presence of God, and that's where they're going to hear the voice of God. That's where they're going to connect with the message. That's where God's going to touch them. So if we're not on the same page, then we're not going to be able to help the people move to the same place.
Yeah, the same page relationally.
Relationally as well, yes, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Carol, what's that like for you in working with a pastor that is in tune with what you're doing and who you are as a leader?
It's very important that we are on the same page, that we're in agreement. And as far as Mike said, I reiterate that it is about, we have to have the same goal in mind, that it is about bringing people into the presence of God. And music is just a part of that, and the singing, congregational singing is just a part of that. And it's a vital part, but also just being prepared to hear the word and respond to the word in worship.
And the challenges of worship services, let's say, does the responsibility just bear on the worship leader, or does it bear on the pastor? How do y'all view that?
I don't think it's on any one person in particular, but we work together as a team. And I think ultimately it does come back to the leadership. So I think both Carol and I are responsible for that. We're responsible to make sure it works. We're responsible to evaluate it and to understand it, and we're responsible to initiate changes.
Awesome. And tell me this, Carol. What do you think the impact is that the congregation has when they see both the senior pastor and the worship leader, worship pastor, on the same page?
I think it's vital. I think they can tell that. They don't have to be told that. They can. I think it's a point that can be sensed, that you know when one role is supporting the other role in the team effort in order to do our, put forth our best in worship ministry.
Yeah, awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for the time here, just sharing with us. These are some great issues that we can dive into. But thank you again for y'all's time, and Pastor, really appreciate what you're doing here in your church here, and Carol,
Thank you, Brandon.
thank you. And guys, thanks for joining us. We'll see you back at the next Worship Team Training on the Road series.